We're back in the studio of the Amsterdam City Theatre, the TEDx studio. I am joined by civil rights activist Esra'a Al Shafei from Bahrein. You cannot protest out in the open, which is why we are not filming your face, but your hands. What would happen to you if we did film your face, Esra'a?
I will be in more danger. I would feel in more danger because the work that I do is extremely controversial. Especially I deal with ethnic and religious minorities and with a lot of taboo topics which are not very allowed. So I take extreme caution with my physical appearance.
All right, we'll keep that in mind. Before we continue, we're going to look at a profile we made of you. An outspoken defendant of free speech, Esra'a Al Shafei from Bahrein has in the past been subjected to threats and harassment, which is why she doesn't want her image out in the public. Her aim is to foster a constructive discourse via the internet and to keep a sharp eye on developments worldwide.
I want ethnic, religious, and intellectual minorities in the Middle East to have equal human rights.
My reign is as far as your eyes can see. It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing, so amazing.
The internet is a window to the world in Bahrain, and young Esra'a Al Shafei is dedicated to giving the youth in the Middle East the opportunity to express itself freely.
Youth are the future, and if you revolutionize young people, the future, that's what it is. I mean, it's going to change 100%.
People always say, well, you know, why don't you go more on the streets, more on the ground level? We really believe in new technology, innovations, and especially design and interface design. You might see how we communicate a lot of these human rights causes with illustrations. These are some examples of our latest illustrations. We use these to tell the world about what's happening in situations where they don't really hear about it.
So Esra'a, in your TED Talk, you emphasized the importance of the internet for your region. Why is being online so important in the Middle East?
Because the internet presented itself as being the gateway to freedom of speech. It really allowed us to have a medium in which we can really amplify our voices, calling for change and not really facing any censorship from the traditional media, which a lot of it is actually state-owned.
Mm-hmm. But does every Bahraini have access to a computer and the internet and your blogs and your sites?
More and more. I think in the Arab world, the access to the internet is amongst the most increasing. And I think access will become much more prevalent in the very near future. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Can you describe to us how it is to live in a country where censorship reigns, in fact?
It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. Because, you know, there are many topics that you really need to discuss and deal with and bring more awareness about. And the idea that you can't discuss it, in a way, justifies that it happens in the first place. And I think censorship is one of the biggest reasons why we have not progressed forward in terms of human rights as at a much faster rate.
You obviously have. I mean, you're a very young woman, and despite this censorship, you have developed yourself. How did you go about that?
I felt we really needed a platform for this. And when I saw that a lot of people, you know, they weren't really, weren't really living up to the full potential of the internet, I felt that I had to kind of step in and maybe offer something more unique and different.
But what triggered you? Because what did you know before that of what you could do with the internet?
I didn't actually. I had to teach myself how to use the internet. I had to teach myself how to get things done online. And it was really a tough battle at the beginning because you're on your own and you're trying to learn how to use this very new tool and new technology. But you learn very quickly because I understood very quickly that the internet was extremely valuable to us, and it was a new medium, and it was going to very surely change the way we communicate with the world, but also more importantly, with each other.
Right. So what are you telling the people who visit your sites? What can they find on your sites?
They will find many diverse causes, anything from the Kurdish rights cause to the migrant rights cause. Communities that have faced censorship for a very long time are now speaking out, and we're giving them as much visibility as possible so that everyone around the world can become a witness to their issues.
Good. Would you ever consider leaving Bahrain due to the censorship?
I don't think so, no.
Why?
Because I'm there to make it better. If I leave it, I'm saying, well, I gave up, and I'm never going to give up.
Right.
So.
Do your parents, does your family support you in what you're doing?
They're not. I don't think they're sure what I'm doing exactly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, they understand that I'm in human rights, but they prefer that I just get married and have children like everyone else. So
what do you tell them when they say that?
Well, I mean, I don't tell them exactly what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis with all these online causes, but sometimes they found out about me actually in an interview on Al Jazeera one time. And we were watching TV, and suddenly I came on, and they were like, oh, this
is Esra'a.
She said, it looks exactly like you. Even
really?
She has the same exact glasses. And I said, wow, what a coincidence.
You never said it was you.
But then they wrote my name, and I said, ooh, well, But yeah, they were, of course, very worried and concerned. No one wants their daughter, to go and do these kinds of risky things. But I told them, this is my path, and I really want to explore it more.
And they do respect that.
They have to.
They have to, sure. We're almost about to round up, Esra'a. I'd like to talk to you about the Arab Spring, as people call it. It happened, we all witnessed it, but what we can also see now is that Egypt is struggling. How do you feel about that?
I think we're all still struggling, and I think we will continue to struggle for a very long time. This was a breaking point, and it was bound to happen, and it kind of shocked everybody, the fast rate in which it happened. But it kind of told the world, but also told our leaders that people are aware, and they are demanding the rights that they have been deprived of for a very long time.
Yeah.
And people do it in very different ways. There are people who go on the more grassroots level, there are people on the streets, but it's for sure that millions of people across the Middle East are now committing to social change, and for that reason we will see very positive results. Not maybe very soon, but soon enough.
And will you be having a spring of your own in Bahrain, do you think?
We're still debating this.
You're still debating it?
We have a long way to go in everywhere. So.
Well, we'll just have to follow you online and see how things go. Thank you. One question I do ask everybody who sits here today is, who or what do you especially look forward to today at TEDx Amsterdam?
I'm really a big fan of the TED community, how committed they are and how aware they are. And I'm just looking forward to making as many connections and friends as possible. I'm mostly looking forward also to the talks. I know someone from TEDx Baghdad, I think, is speaking here, so I'm looking forward to this and seeing how TED is being played out in Iraq.
Yes.
And I'm just very, very thankful for this opportunity to be here.
Good for you. Thank you for being here. Welcome to be with us. And please take care that nobody takes your picture today and puts it online on Twitter or something.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much for talking to us.
Thanks so
Esra'a
much.
Al Shafei.